Hi, today I'm going to show you how to turn half your image into the negative version of the other half of your image. So to have half your image as positive and half your image as a negative, or what a negative would look like if you had taken your picture on film. I'm going to show you one where I'm doing that with color and another one where I'm doing that black and white. And make sure you are using and taking pictures and using pictures that lend themselves to this, because essentially you're going to be splitting your picture in half. So maybe you want a picture with symmetry or detail or texture, something where this effect is going to add to the picture and look good and not just look like an afterthought that you're slapping on. So I chose this one because it has that symmetry to it a little bit and it's colorful. And all you need to do is open your picture and go to your adjustments tab. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually invert it, meaning make a negative version of it. So one of the adjustment layers is invert, which you can find here, or you can always go down to the bottom, click on the circle, and go that way. It does the same thing. And now it has inverted my colors. What I want to do is now remove that from half the picture. So half is in the positive and half is in the inverted or the negative. I'm going to use my mask to do that. Right now this is applying to my whole image. And what I want to do is just mask it out on half. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to my marquee tool, which is the second tool down, and make sure I'm on the rectangle. If what you see is a circle, you can just click and hold it down and just choose rectangle. And I'm going to highlight the area that I want back yellow. So I'm going to use this half. And I'm just going to click and drag over my image to choose the point where I want to remove this effect. And let go. And I'm going to go up to edit. And what I want to do is just fill that rectangle with black. Now I'm doing it on the mask. So of course, make sure you are on your adjustment layer and that you have your mask selected. Otherwise, it won't work. I'm going to go to edit, and I'm just going to go down to fill. And under content, you're just going to choose black from the drop down. So click on black and hit OK. And that's all there is to it. To make the marquee go away, you can just, if you're on the marquee tool, you can just click off to the side, or you can go over to select and go to deselect. Of course, the last thing I want to do is save it as a JPEG, just as a reminder. So you're going to go to File, and if you have the updated version of Photoshop, you will click on Save a Copy. If you happen to go to Save As and you don't see the JPEG as a drop-down, you will see a Save a Copy button over here that you can click. That's if you have the new version of Photoshop. I'm just going to go down to JPEG, name my picture, flower negative, choose my folder. If you need to make a new folder, you can. So I'm going to go over and make a new folder called negative positive. I'm going to hit save and just make sure I'm on my maximum quality and hit OK. Now I'm going to do it with this one. This one I'm just going to do black and white and do the same thing, but just doing it black and white. So I'm going to go over to this picture, and first I'm going to turn it black and white. Remember, there's two adjustment layers for black and white. There's the black and white adjustment layer. That's the one that lets you adjust it based on how you want each color to go. It's a little bit more complicated, but it gives you a lot of control. In this case, I'm going to choose the gradient map. Gradient map is just a one-click button, and it does a really nice job just sending the darker part of your image to the dark end, to the shadows, and the brightest part to your highlights, so you get contrast. And then I'm just going to invert it again. So I'm going to click either the invert here or from the Layers tab. And then I'm going to go to my marquee again, Choose the rectangle, highlight the part of the image I want to invert, or I don't want to invert. Make sure that I'm on the invert, on the adjustment layer, make sure I'm on the mask, and just go to Edit, Fill, and again, I'm going to make sure I'm choosing black. That's going to fill that half with black and remove the invert adjustment layer from that half. And then I can either click off or go to Select and deselect. This works particularly well with this texture, I think. And then I'm going to go to File, Save As, and make sure I'm saving it again as a JPEG. As always, I'm going to name it Wood Negative and hit OK. That's it. Have fun with it. Choose your photos wisely. They should lend themselves to this effect and not just seem slapped on. Look forward to seeing what you do.